Hello everyone, welcome to Wander and Prepare. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite things in the world, and that is fire starters. So on the table in front of me you have some of my favorite fire starters, which is really every single thing out there. I just absolutely love fire starters. I don't know if it's just the man loves fire in me or what it is, but I just think they are some of the funnest things in the world. So we're going to talk about a few of them today, and not only fire starters, we also have some tenders here today, and we're going to kind of see what's out there and which one really is going to work best for you and which one I love, and you know, just the fun nature of all of it. So let's get started. All right, let's get a couple of them out of the way, and I think we'll start with one of my favorite, and that is ferro rods. So, and I think this is one of my favorite because this is probably one of, I don't know, the most fun, most challenging ways to do this. So ferro rods are basically a ferrocerium, and they have little shards of metal that when you take a striker and strike it off, it puts out a immense amount of spark, and very hot spark, and that usually ignites a fire. So we're gonna do that in just a second, but there's lots of different kinds of them. So there's very large ones, there's very small ones, there's very compact ones. We'll talk about this one. And then there's some more kind of niche ones and very nice ones to put together too. And then there's some really interesting ones out there and that already kind of have tinder built in with them, and we're gonna talk about that. So first up, let's talk about this little guy. So I actually picked this up at Blade Show Atlanta, and I absolutely love this ferro rod. So let me show you how it works. So basically you unscrew it, put it together, so keeps your ferro rod protected. Then you have your little striker, and then basically you can use that, and that kind of strikes that. Not only that, I don't know if you can see that really well on the camera, but there's actually a piece of tinder inside the cord. So this is actually what's called a fire cord, and it has tinder built in with it. But basically you use this, you strike this, and then it puts out those immense amount of sparks. So really, really cool, something I think everybody could use, love. And if you are not familiar with Exotac, they make some of the best products out there. Just really, really cool survival gear, really, really cool fire starters, and check them out for sure. So this is called the Exotac Nano Striker XL. It's kind of funny that it's called an XL. It's actually really, really small, but super cool. And you'll see in a minute, sometimes the smaller they are, the harder they are to strike, but this one kind of defies that logic just a little bit. And then here's another very inexpensive version. I actually don't know the brand on this, but I actually bought these in like a 3 or 4 pack. And these usually go on a knife sheath, and you can take it out, and if your knife has a 90-degree spine, you can strike this and it will also emit sparks as well and help you start a fire. So super cool. And now let's talk about this one. So this is the Uberladen. So I don't know, probably not saying that word right, but these are, they have several brands out there, and they are just kind of known for fire starters, and just super good quality. I absolutely love them. They just look really awesome, and just really good quality materials and products. So I just absolutely love them, and think they're a great choice. So with that being said, I actually got this one for Christmas, and this one I think is a Holtzman, I think is the name, but it actually comes with a tungsten striker, if I'm not mistaken, and actually has a little emergency whistle on here too. And as you can see, this thing is massive. It is hard not to throw sparks with this thing, and we'll check that out in just a second. So one of the coolest ones I have though is this one right here, and it's by Prepared 4X. So what it is it has a tinder already built in with it. So this little rope is kind of a wax coated rope, and once you coat jute with wax, it becomes like a really, really amazing tinder. So what you can do is you can pull this down, you can take the end of this, which is kind of sharp, and you can really like fray these edges up, and that's gonna make it like really easy to start and ignite. And then once you strike it and it ignites, then you can control the flame by pulling it in, pushing it out, and then eventually extinguish the flame by pulling it all the way in, and that kind of puts it out so that way you save your tinder. So really cool one, but this one, we're gonna check it out in just a minute and see how well it lights, or see how bad I am at sometimes lighting these things. So wish me luck on that. All right, so now moving on, let's take a look at some other things. So let's talk about storm-proof matches. So these are probably one of the oldest type of fire starters out there, and just really cool, and I mean, kind of hard to go wrong with them. So there's several different kinds though. So these are the UCO, just regular storm-proof matches, and we will take one of those out here so you can kind of see the size of that. So this is what a regular storm-proof match. And again, talking about Exotac, this is the Match Cap XL. This does not come with the matches, but you have to buy the matches separate, but it has a striker on there. And then when you put that top back on, it also has a striker on the bottom and got that little seal right there to keep moisture out and keep your matches dry. But really cool thing with these, they actually don't have to stay dry. I mean, you want to keep them dry, but you can actually dip these things in water, pull it out a few seconds later, and it's going to stay lit. So super cool, and just a really cool fire starter as well. This one is also by UCO, and this is called the Titan Stormproof Matches. And well, as you can see, it gives a little piece of tinder in there too. I say tinder, that might just be a little protection for it, but because that thing's not going to stay lit very long without some kind of Vaseline or something on it. But this is the Titan. Now, you can see that is considerably larger and going to stay lit considerably longer. So even a competitor with UCO, Zippo, decided to get in the game, and they come out with something called the Typhoon. And as you can see, it's even a little bit larger than the Titan Stormproof matches. So super cool, and also a really good way to start a fire. So a couple other things I want to talk about is starting a fire is only half the battle. So you really need to get air into that fire. So this is something called a pocket bellow. I picked it up from pocketbellows.com, and it is really cool. So you take this out, and basically it extends out so you don't have to get so close to the fire, and then you blow on one side of it, it blows into the fire and really helps ignite that, so you don't have to get your face so close to the fire. Also a really good thing to have just when your fire starting to really help get that fire going. So some of the last things that I have for fire starting is just a regular old Bic lighter, a Zippo lighter, but not just any Zippo lighter. So this actually has a butane insert, and it is called a soft flame butane. So you hold that, and it basically makes a regular flame just like a regular Bic lighter. The big difference with that is if you've ever seen the bottom of a regular Zippo lighter, it has a piece of cotton right here. You put your lighter fluid in. Problem is, like, I don't smoke, I don't use my lighter very often. So if I just put that lighter fluid in here and I let this set for maybe a week or two, I come back and it's likely it is not going to light because that lighter fluid is already evaporated. Well, with the butane insert, that's not the case. That it's a sealed container, so you don't lose any of the lighter fluid. And I literally filled this up right after Christmas when I got it, and it is still lighting amazing today, and I have not refilled it one single time. So just a great choice, and really good option to put that butane soft flame insert in there. And just so you know, I got that idea actually from Taylor Martin on his channel. He really believes in that. And then one other kind of lighter, other than just a regular old Bic, which we'll look at in a minute, is another butane lighter, and this one is not a soft flame. This one puts out a regular butane torch, and it is super strong, very windproof, kind of indestructible, and it comes in this waterproof case, and this is by Explorer. Also got this on Amazon as well. So another good option, and hard not to get a fire lit with one of these, just a really easy thing. But the absolute number one way to light a fire, number one way, is just a regular old Bic lighter. It just works. It's just the best thing I can say about it. So probably one of the best, and if I was gonna label, if you only have one thing, it will probably be this Bic lighter right here. So hands down, easiest to carry, probably the smallest of everything I have on the table, And it's just simple, it works. So hard to beat it. All right. So important when fire starting is talking about tinder and how you really get your fire going. So let's talk about those, and I have a few different things here. So first, let's talk about these fire plugs. So these things are really, really unique. And this is by a company called Blackbeard Fire. And they just make some super quality products. But this is basically a little plug here, and it's got some kind of resin, Vaseline type thing on the outside, but it doesn't come off on your hand. So I know a lot of people, if you watch the Outdoor Boys, he'll talk about using a cotton swab and putting Vaseline on it. That works really well, but it's super messy. Well, this one's not messy at all. No residue comes off. But basically you just take it, you kind of twist it back and forth there and pull it apart just a little bit and pick those little fibers out. And it's kind of hard to light if you don't do this, but if you pick those little fibers out, we'll look in just a second. This is gonna be super easy to ignite with a ferro rod, and does get on you just a little bit when you do that, but that's gonna be super easy to light here in a minute. Another one I got from the Pathfinder school. So this is called the Pathfinder Mini Inferno. I actually don't know if I've ever opened these. So I don't know if they have a seal on them or not. They don't. But it's kind of the same thing, just instead of a plug like that, this is actually a little disc that's kind of cotton and kind of impregnated with some kind of material as well too. And it's gonna make it really easy to light. And then lastly is this fire strip roll. So you pull that out like that, you kind of tear it, you fray it just a little bit, and that's gonna make that super easy to light too. Big difference with this is, I don't know if you can see how well the camera picks this up, but there is a ton of material on here that you're gonna be able to use this for a really, really long time. And that's gonna last a really long time. Where this one doesn't exactly say how many it has in there, but these fire discs, there's less than 10 in here. Now this is a pretty big bag, but also it is a pretty big bag, so it'll be hard to carry like a whole bunch of them. Whereas something like this, again, pretty small form and gonna last a really long time. So I also have duct tape on the table. And you might be asking yourself, why do I have duct tape on the table? I am not gonna show you how well this lights today because it does create just a little bit of smoke, and I am inside at the moment. But duct tape is an amazing fire starter and tinder, and really helps get your fire going. It burns really hot, burns for a long time, but it is very difficult to impossible to strike with a ferro rod or anything like that. This is much better if you have a Bic, any other kind of lighter to kind of get that thing started, but this will absolutely start a fire. I have absolutely used no tinder, used literally quarter cut logs, and this has gotten the fire started on that plenty of times in a campfire for me. And it's just an amazing product. I mean, duct tape, I mean, it has 1,000,001 uses, and that's just one of them. It helps you start a fire, so really cool. And it comes in this really small package, kind of all put together and just really, really easy to put together. And this one's called Ready Tape. You can pick them up on Amazon. They're actually pretty cheap. All right, so now for the exciting part of this video. Let's see some of the ferro rods, some of the matches, and everything else in action. Let's move all of this out of the way. Let's pull this over here. And let's just look at some of the ferro rods. So let's take the smallest one I got. So this is the Exotac Nano Striker XL. And let's just see how easy it is to get off some sparks. So also, something important to note. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but I've got a lot of whenever ferro rod comes, they always have this black coating on it. Now, that black coating will not strike. So you kind of have to find a spot that doesn't have that black coating on there. And if I can get it, there you go. It'll throw some sparks. So again, the smaller they are, sometimes the harder they are to get sparks. Important little notice for all of this, no matter what ferro rod, fire starter you use, even a regular Bic lighter, practice with it. Practice starting a fire. Don't just go out there and expect it to work every single time. So this one is super, super cool. Throws a lot of sparks, and just a really, really good fire starter. I just love this thing, but it is also probably one of the bigger ones that I have. And yeah, once you get that, oh yeah, see that? It keeps that ember burning a pretty long time. So pretty cool. Love this one. Really good too. Uber Laden, man, I just can't say enough good things about their products. So this one I'm willing to bet, without me even striking it once, provided I don't mess it up, it's gonna throw a lot of sparks on the very first try. Oh, I messed it up, but there it is. Did you see that? Wow, man. They just make some really quality products. Just love that. Think those are really good. All right, now for the exciting test. So let's take some of this tinder. Let's really move it around there and get it kind of set up, and let's see how this thing starts. So one of the hardest things, and why I say practice, is for this very reason, as you're seeing right here, it's not always the easiest to get things to strike. And if I was in an outdoor setting, it would be even easier, because I could really hold this thing down and get it started. All right. So I'm gonna cheat, and I'm not gonna use the Faro starter, and we're gonna light it with a regular lighter. All right, so that is the Blackbeard Firestarter. Here is the Pathfinder Inferno. And here is a piece of the fire tape. And as you can see on this video, this burns pretty hot, pretty big flame, and for a pretty good amount of time. So I do not have any water with me, but if I did, I could literally pick these things up, dump them in water, pull them right back out, and guess what? They would go right out. They would not, they would start right back up. I mean, they wouldn't go out. They would last a long time, and good test for the fire roll. So look at the fire tape. It actually goes out quite a bit quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this out. And we're gonna go ahead and try to put the rest of these out too. See if I can avoid setting the fire alarm off today. All right, so that pretty much concludes the video. So I guess we could strike some of these matches and see how they work. All right, so as you see, they burn really well too, but man, they put off a lot of smoke, so I'm not gonna light any of the big ones, but I'll show you what the little one does there. All right, so that was that. So that is the video, kind of talking about fire starters. So let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite fire starters out there and how you really like to do or start a fire. And tell me some of your everyday carry. Like, you know, do you have a fire starter that you carry every day? Is it a Bic lighter? Do you carry a Zippo? Those are my two choices. Matter of fact, most of the time I have this one with me. This one's always close by. Or do you carry a ferro rod? Actually, I carry this one with me a lot of the times too. It's not ever on my person, but it is in my truck at all times, and I just absolutely love it. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite fire starter and what you like to use. And if there's a product that you'd like to see me try out, or a product that you use that you really think I should know about, let me know. I'd love to know about it as well. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. My goal is to put out content every single week. Really appreciate it if you like following me. And before we go, just want to remind you of one thing. It can be an absolutely crazy world out there. So as you wander and prepare, let's make sure we're doing it by faith and not by sight. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.